What's going on, guys? It's Bert, and I bought something for my BMW, something that I'm really excited to try out, really excited to show you guys. And I'm gonna kind of be doing a bit of an unboxing, a bit of a review, just testing it out, just giving my thoughts on it. And that's this, a radar detector. So this is the Uniden R7. So there were a couple different radar detectors that I was looking at. Ultimately, it came down to this for me. This is the one I decided to go with. There were two others, one by another brand. I don't remember which brand that was. I'll put it on the screen. And the Uniden R8, which is the upgraded, newer version of this. Now, this one cost me about $450, give or take a couple bucks. The way I'm going to do this video is I'm going to do kind of a basic unboxing, nothing too fancy. Just opening it up, getting my first thoughts, how it feels in the hand. I'm going to be kind of setting it up in my car, plugging it in. Then I'm going to, off camera, just play with a lot of the settings, just kind of set it up, get it dialed in. I will have a link in the description to Amazon for one of these if you're interested in one. Okay, so I have the box here. So the only thing I did at home is I pretty much just cut the tape over here. So I've not opened this up at all yet. I don't know what to expect here. And I'm kind of doing this one-handed because I'm holding the camera in the other. But we got a fat book. Look at that. Pretty cool. Thick book. I'll give that a look later. Got a really nice carrying case. Look at that. Uniden. Very nice. Let's open this up. Let's see what we got in here. I am struggling big time. There we go. All right, cool. So we have a suction mount here. Now, supposedly this comes with two suction mounts. Here we go. Here's the other one. So I'm going to probably use this one in the M2, and then this one I'll put in my daily driver just so I can swap them around. So it's pretty cool. We have the cable here with the mute button on it. Really awesome. We'll get that plugged in. And that's it there. So now let's look at the actual detector. It's in a nice little case. Ooh, that feels all right. Feels a little plasticky, but if it works, it works. That's all that matters. A little film on there, how to take that off. So yeah, let me get this put up and then I'll turn it on and we'll play around with this. We'll start seeing what it does. And there we go, guys. This is kind of the best I could do with setting it up. I don't want to put it all the way up here because I don't want the cable dangling all the way down. So I think that's a good spot. I mean, the sensors should be okay. There's the front one up there and then the kind of side and rear right there. It should be okay. I have good visibility of it. It doesn't really obstruct anything. The cable I kind of have running over here. It's not really the best cable, but at least the mute button is right here. Really nice, really easy to access. So I do like that. I may hardwire this in the future, but probably not. I'll probably just get like a little clip or something just to run this along here nice and smooth. For the most part, yeah, let's turn it on. Let's see what we got.
X-band, K-band, Ka-band, laser.
All right.
GPS connected.
Awesome. So I'm going to take some time now to set this up, get all the settings dialed in, and yeah, we'll go on the road and see what we can see. So it's actually day 2 that I'm recording this video. So the first half of the video is the unboxing and everything, and I'm actually, oh, what do we got? We got a K-band flagging and then disappearing. It's probably a blind spot from that van. So the way I'm actually gonna do this video, because I'm changing it up a little bit. So yesterday I did a lot of driving around, a lot of playing around with the detector, and there were a lot of things I learned, including a lot of research that I had to do at home for like all the optimal settings and just stuff specific to my state, which is Connecticut. And we're gonna drive right now to get coffee, and I'm gonna kind of talk about the detector and hopefully we could get something to pop off here. Now, the reason I'm recording this a second day is because yesterday, when I did a lot of driving around, one, I had a horrible camera angle. I didn't have this camera angle here that you see. I had it like side mounted and you had like the A-pillar smack in the middle. It just wasn't, it didn't look good at all. Besides that, I didn't fully understand a lot of the things in the radar. So a lot of those have now been fine-tuned. We should have a better experience today. One of the things I learned in my research is that my state, Connecticut, we do use radar, but it's mostly in like smaller rural towns. And I did notice this yesterday with K-band. So there's a few bands on here. There's X-band, which isn't really used in Connecticut, but it's used in a few states. There is K-band and Ka-band. KA band usually is specifically cops. K band is pretty much everything else. So it can be a cop, it can be blind spot detection, it could be doors at a store, it could be a lot of different things. And there were a few instances where I drove by a cop that was sitting on a median and I didn't get anything pop off. That's obviously because this is not a police detector, it is a radar detector. So if they're not running radar, it's not going to flag. So with that, part of my research finds out that a lot of the state cops in Connecticut use LiDAR, so they use a laser system. They do not use radar. So basically this radar detector was never going to trigger on my state cops anyway, and it does have a feature where it can actually pick up laser, but the problem with that is by the time it picks up the laser signal, the cop already has you pinned for a speed via that laser. So that's kind of the problem. So unless you have a really bad slow cop, the laser detection is not really going to be all that helpful. The radar detection though did pick up a few cops driving around town. Now, what I noticed is a lot of the ones that were driving did not have radar running at all. And you could see the radar antennas on top of their car, like next to the light bars. So you could see them. So they do have it, but they weren't running it. There were two that I came across that were parked that I drove by and I had K-band pop off. So I'm adding this as a quick little bit. I'm inside my Subaru, but I just took my BMW for an oil change. And when I was actually in the parking lot, I had a KA band pop up on my radar, and there's like the main street over to the left. So I'm like, let me take a look. Let me just wait and see. And then the signal started to get stronger, and then it showed the arrows to the side. So I look over, and like 2 seconds later, a local cop drove by. So just gonna throw that out there that it did notify me of a cop that was driving by. It does tell you that a signal is present, but it is up to you to determine what to do with that information. So as you see, like I drove this whole way here and I've only had one instance of K-band pop off, which was most likely the blind spot detection for that van. So you don't really get a lot of false alerts with this thing. That's what's really nice, is you don't get all that many. So when you do get an alert for K-band, you should take it seriously enough that you at least ease off the gas, look around and say, okay, what are the chances that this is a cop? Would I recommend the radar detector? Yes, I would definitely recommend it, but only as a supplement to common sense and being observant and looking around yourself to make sure there's no cops around. Because this thing can help you in certain cases, especially in like rural towns, but it's not going to save you. It'll help you, but it won't save you. So if you're just ripping it 100 down the freeway, chances are this radar detector is not really going to do anything for you. Now, if you're whipping it down Vermont back roads and you get, you know, the one cop in town heading in your direction, chances are it's probably going to help you there, because I doubt that those cops are actually using a laser. They're probably just running a radar. You have to understand its limitations, and you have to understand where you live and how the police work in your areas. Because me, living in Connecticut was one of the first states to adapt laser technology pretty much statewide as the main kind of enforcement, whereas there's other places that still use X-band, whereas most places don't use it anymore. So you have to understand your area and what the police in your areas use. Roads like this is where this is really going to help, because if I got a K-band detection now, kind of going around this bend, I could say, okay, there's probably a cop there, let me ease off, and let me just kind of take it nice and easy through here. But it's not going to help me on the highway all that much. So just bear that in mind. I hope you guys found this helpful. Again, this video isn't meant to really be a full review. It's not meant to go over all the features. It's not meant to tell you how to set it up. It's just a, let me install it into my car. Let me give you guys my kind of initial impressions of this detector, because it's something I've wanted for a while and I finally pulled the trigger. So I'm like, well, if I want a radar detector, there's probably a lot of other car people out there that want them or that have them or whatever the case is. So let me just do a video on it. So if you like this video, leave it a like, leave me a comment, let me know if you run a detector, let me know if it's helped you before and just kind of your thoughts on them. And subscribe if you want to see more videos from me. It would really be appreciated, as I'm kind of making that push towards 1,000 subscribers to start making money off this channel. And if you are interested in purchasing one of these radar detectors, for me, I have the Uniden R7. I have a link in my description for one, so if you're interested in purchasing one, check that out. And that's going to be it for this one, guys. So thank you guys so much for watching. Stay safe out there. Avoid those cops. Till next time.